Okay, guys, today's traveling gratitude, I bring you out of the bowels of the subway. My gosh, it is something to navigate. We are coming up at Bowling Green, and what to see that's so important here. We could get into the fact that right around the corner from here is the ferry to Ellis Island. But we are going to concentrate on the National Museum of the Native American Indian, because let me fill you in on a little history, and let me keep mine not a mystery. My grandma was an immigrant. Yes, Elda Delvino. Now, probably you would be proud of that heritage. Not so much. Elda Delvino kind of wrote. She's the youngest one, so she was, let's see, she would have been 96 when she died, 2004. When did she come in? 1906. Didn't even have the right to vote, lady. While you were crying about your life and all your big trauma, what were you, like 4 when you came over on a boat? There was like earthquakes, and and actually there was somebody 3 years. My mother-in-law is my mother-in-law, Gertrude Bach, born 1909, here, right here. She doesn't have any tragic boat story with children's books. Oh, God, no. Okay, so everybody comes here to be like, bring me your tired, your poor, your something. That's... If we were going to the Statue of Liberty, this not be that video. We're in about a little bit of American history 101. So we got out of the way. My mother's a borderline personality disorder freak bag, but my grandmother, like she's featured in some Italian American thing. She's very much leaning into the heritage after the getting spit on and called it a dirty day gun and walk. Okay, I give it to her. She felt some racism, but hey, don't put your brother Rico in a mental institution to shirk your duties in the 40s because he was sucking gaslight after his brother Guido died. Yes, I have a great uncle Guido who died in the war because, of course, in World War II, if you were an immigrant, particularly Italian descent, here's a little piece of history for you. We know that the Japanese were interned, so were Italians. Yeah. So, Uncle Guido and all the Italian relatives, they enlisted. We did not want to be affiliated with Mussolini and World War II. Oh, no. So, yeah, that's the truth about that piece of my history. Very, very proud of Guido. Equally proud of Uncle Rico, who my grandmother, I believe, because of schizophrenic, had him arrested, shoved away to Napa State like a nothing, a nobody. And then he gets out of jail. She sees him on the street. Oh, she can't look at him. Oh, she's afraid. You know what she was afraid of? The consequences of her bad action. Uncle Rico was sucking on gaslights because his brother Guido just died in the war tragically. He was a fighter pilot. He went off and killed some... I have to say the truth. Uncle Rico was a badass fighter pilot. He killed some Nazis. All I said was he was a fighter pilot. He also made it through the entire war. Got in an airplane. Boom! Toilet crash. Did not make it home on Victory Day. So, it's sort of sad, but that's the way it is. So we're going to go back further in history for America. For those of you who don't realize, those boat people like my grandma who arrived here and thought they were important because Scorsese did something with PBS. We got on all these documentaries for Falk money. Did you not figure it out? Yes. And you were correct, though. Your 2004 death did change me. What is a narcissist's last words to a narcissistic psychopathic son? My death will change Shannon. You really weren't that important. You personally did not change me. Changed up the power cycle, and now I've been thinking about it and thinking, what happened in 2004? We came to New York, didn't we? And that's when you were going to be on the Ellis Island, a very important person. You were like 4 years old, lady. Someone looked at your eye. That's not a lot of trauma. Trauma is your granddaughter who was molested by the guy you like to sit next to, Michael Falk, and rub oils on yourself. Because you had Falk money in the house by then. You could afford to go to Deepak Chopra. We established in Michigan, right? You had a condo by the cemetery in Sonoma. You weren't that important. You just weren't really that kind of real estate man. I married that real estate man. Not you, not any Melissa. So let's clear that up. And we will get on to marriage number 2. The Native American Christopher Ray Garcia. I have mad respect for Native Americans because, hey, I am standing on Native American ground right now. The Liberty. Yes. So, what do you think about the Native American Museum? And if the advertisements are truthful, here's the cool thing about the Native American Museum. It's free. It's my favorite price. It's a little sad, though, that the natives who gave everything, whose treaties we broke, anyone that's, well, I didn't break them like we established. My grandma was a poor person in Pisa on a dirt floor. And my grandpa Bill was like by way of Canada and Newfoundland, so we don't got no Mayflower people that were hurting your people. Let's just be clear. I got nothing to do with the genocide, nothing but love for the natives. I married a very traumatized one of those. A little bit narcissistic Chris Garcia, but they inherit a certain amount of trauma and distrust. I wonder why. Probably because the Bureau of Indian Affairs is their trustee. We'll get into sovereign law inside here. Let's see how this one goes. Okay. Visitors. Do I need to put my phone on here too? Do you want my phone on here? Everything. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, guys, what was it like to be, what exactly was it like to be, X-ray procedures went through the machine? That's gonna be funny, it's hysterical. But here we are at the Native American Museum store. And, we'll support them with something very soon. Oh, they got beautiful jewelry. Look at the dang jewelry. Okay. Oh, look at all these. Okay. Yeah. Oh. pure turquoise. Jasper, silver, onyx. Wow. Aw. All right. This is really cool. Here you go. Native New York. Converse. This is the Middle East. Vietnam. Mineral Peace. National. Where is Russell Means? And you need him. Russell Means, by the way, was a badass Native American crusader. I don't think he'd approve it. I had to come anyway. Wow. All right. Let's just see if they tell the true story about the Native Americans, because I'm going to take a walk around this. Let's see if this is anything like the lynching museum that was actually facing the ugly truth of America. Looks like they prettied it up, but we'll see. Well, they have to make, they're going to make the natives heroes and their code talkers. Irish War, Spanish American War. Oh, I don't think they wanted anyone on their territory, including the Spanish. How many scouts? We have Captain Jack, who's hung at the Modoc War. Yeah, put in a freak show. Seem to have missed that part. Let's see if we have the mass slaughter of the natives. Civil War. Okay. Let's give you the American version of the Native American in the Free New York Museum. Culture wars. For thousands of Native American Indians have protected their communities. Of course, warriors customary war, however, only fighting warriors cared for families. Warriors cared for families? No, my family ain't Native American. Makes sense on Mary Chris Garcia. During times they did anything to ensure their people's survival, including laying down their lives. Well, then I guess my people be Gabriel, because he laid down his life, and I guess my people be Gertrude, because she down her life. That's two people, different religions, both gave their life. Not every tribe had a warrior tradition. Many had distinctly Pacific actions. Some of them had Aboriginals who learned in Michigan. Just leave that out, right? Many nations considered war as a negative force, and little ceremony then. Okay, have we mentioned the part where we broke our treaties? Let's see. Versions of Native American military service. Oh, wait a minute, we skipped the, we're skipping the Trail of Tears? Oh, Native American involvement in the military it's American Revolution. They thought they were helping someone was going to help them. It's called the Trail. I think some tribes opted to fight for the Americans. There's a few tribes that were traders, that's all right. Their choices of colonial towns, Christian missionaries, the usual suspects. Side of the problem. The usual reasons. Following the American victory over the native nations lost access to powerful allies and stood alone to face the land-hungry United States. Read that, folks. It's still going on. During 1812, nations supported Great Britain. European Americans aggressively acquired native women. Who knew that the British should be looked upon favorably by Native Americans? They learn something new every day. Civil War. If they had botched up the Trail of Tears and completely left it out, I think we can just say this museum, not too pretty, but it's got a nice thing about covering up a dark past. What does that remind me of? Oh, right, my family. Code talkers. They use like coded operating agreements. Okay. Yeah, this was pretty cool though. When they needed the natives, in World War II, then now suddenly the Navajo become more important than like the Italians. Didn't we discuss like why Italians joined up? They didn't want to be like construed to be around Mussolini. Let's see now. Access to infinity of nations. Photography gallery. Wow. Watch, they'll make us turn off our camera because well, we'll see. But let's see what we can get in on here, huh? We've already been x-rayed, guys. Oh. Huh? Comic artist visions. Huh. Okay, this is pretty cool. This is a comic artist. Traditional Belfast person regional. That's pretty cool. So they would do. So it's like the tribes of Alaska. That's fine line drawing, but we don't know. This is very beautiful. Let's see. Huh. Is there filming allowed inside of here? Oh. Am I allowed to film inside of here or take pictures inside of here? Or
no flash.
Okay.
No flash.
Oh, these are no wonder. No. Those lyrics are Native American and California. There's not a lot left. Like it doesn't disintegrate yet. It's very old. People then rob their graves and terrible things. Yeah. Oh. All right, guys. This is the real part. It's very beautiful. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at the gloves. Look at these gloves. Oh, let's see. What is this? I can't read. After the soldiers left. Yeah, look at this. My God. And the fine beadery. I have a lot of friends that still bead, and it's very much appreciated. It's how they pass on their traditions, their family traditions. Look at the papoose. Look at this. This is amazing. And these would be the... So you would drag out the water What is this? Now in California we have they do their turkey dances with turkey feathers. So it's a different tribe, and let's see which tribe is this. Oh, the Dakota Shield. Ooh, man, do not mess with the Dakotas. They're badass. They got in the Dakotas. Yeah, it's like some. Step back off that. Wow, that is. Wow. You're the Lebanese. Oh, okay. This is free childhood stuff. Give it back, John. Whoa. Let's see. Okay. That's it. I got a lock in. We saw that as a Gabanashi. Now this would be deer hide or buffalo hide. Wow. That's pretty. Oh yeah. There's a small one. Okay, and this would be the seeded. There we go. Okay. So it's not just Lebanese, it's all kinds of tribes. Interesting. Wow. Oh. Good God. Uh-huh. And then you want to learn about the Indian question? The question why you write such a book. These look kind of like Pueblo. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let's see what's over here, guys. Those look like the warfare things. No. That looks more like a hula thing. This looks like Polynesian. I gotta say, this is like very mixed out of New Zealand. It's like a, yeah, I'm sorry, but not Carnegie, Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan, where are you? Should be preserving the people's lands who live in squalid family. Oh, he's Brazilian. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. I'll tell you what, I'm going to just tell you this right now. New York's confused. All right. I gotta go in the corner to say this. Do your own research. Keep an open mind. Don't buy the history everybody says. You read a little bit about Russell Means. What this museum means is that New York is very confused. There are only 5 acknowledged tribes in the state. I think California has 100 and something. We need more of that. Each native tribe is its own sovereign nation. It makes its own laws. That's the truth. In case you don't get that here. It's because you don't put something from Brazil with Native Americans. All right. Okay. We're gonna leave the bleep show. Okay. Like anyone that actually came to this museum thinking they were going to learn anything about American history, let me tell you what, we like to cover things up. Okay? Like we were one more Spanish America. We got us, yeah. We got some reason they like the British. And then we've got, we've got all the wonderful accounts. Yeah. So, for no dollars, come to the Native American Museum in New York at Bowling Green. Take it with a grain of salt. Do your research. If you really want to learn about Native American history, go to Lava Beds National Monument. You'd have to drive many, many hours. It's thousands and thousands of acres. It's got all the caves where the Mohawks hid out before they had the cavalry over foot, before they finally were idiots. Surrendered and believed that they were actually to be treated fairly now. Two of them got hung. The rest of the tribe sent off to Oklahoma. Bye-bye Monarchs. That's how we treat the natives. And you wonder why payday loans comes out of Oklahoma. You got a lot of pissed off tribes that were removed there. There's probably a number of them from New York. There's only 5 acknowledged tribes in this state. Something's afoot. We'll get to other things that are afoot and people taking things that don't belong to them. It's bad karma. But in the case of the natives, they have been put in the Bureau of Indian Affairs and they don't like having a trustee. I totally relate because who knows, trustees might pretend, oh no. We're doing a great job. I don't know, this museum is a mishmash of, it looks like a great place to shop, but certainly nowhere well it's put together, say the Met, the cloisters. Things funded by the money of the Rockefellers and J.P. Morgan on this land that doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to any of us. It belongs to them. A long time ago. You're going back, say, 3 generations. I'm dealing with idiots in New York that are trying to think ahead 3 to 5 generations. I wouldn't do that. You've got to think back just one generation. They can get messed up. Ask the natives how well it goes. In a generation, they got screwed too. The difference between the natives is that they were up against the whole sovereign law things. I'm just under the jurisdiction of the law of the Supreme Court of New York. So I'm in the state. Don't tell anyone. And for anyone going through anything complicated, even if you're Native American, if I got something wrong, I'm sure you'll shout out and tell me, you got this wrong, you got this wrong, you got that wrong. Yes, I might have got a lot wrong. But the point is I care. I care about principles, justice, all things like that. That's the only part of Catholic school and salutes that I got was those 3 words, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, liberty and justice for all. Yeah, that rarely works out that way. Ask the natives. Yeah, my ex had a great saying. Well, from his friends who were aware of their heritage. Here's the greatest saying: for anyone whose family came over on the Mayflower, a native's here to tell you, Your people arrived and my people were here to greet them. So, with that, I will say, have your travel with attitude. Keep it real, folks. Real is real. It's just the truth, It's an uncomfortable truth. There's a lot going on. It's okay to be truthful. So, doesn't mean we can. Some things we can change, some things we can't. The other things that we can't change, we can at least acknowledge, right? So, with that, have your travel with attitude. And on one final note on Native Americans, for our tragedy today, let me remind, let's see, I've already emailed this to Mr. Kleinberger about the fraud when he said, Shannon's selling things. Well, you already know it's a community property issue, but it's not nice when I come in and I email you that I couldn't have possibly sold anything because I wasn't divorced from Chris Garcia. Well, see, I did actually have a second marriage, Mr. Kleinberger. It lasted from when? Let's see, maybe it was July 1st, 2016. Yeah. It doesn't get you out of that problem. And aliases. How many aliases does Michael Falk have? Good God, the man is a nutbag. But it seems when I handle a divorce, you see, I can actually do it correctly, Mr. Kleinberger. I don't sell things and then fraudulently have them notarized from Georgia. With where's that jurisdiction we decided? Well, actually, before I told Mr. Kleinberg exactly the problem was, I did mention to him that I had told the FBI I spent a lot more time talking about one community property with Michael Falk. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell is wrong with Adams and Company in New York City as to why they would want, the only thing notarized correctly. Wait, we're putting all New York limited partnerships into something. Oh, Mr. Kleinberger, you disappoint me. I just thought maybe be all right. But then I realized, 2010? Your liar, Mr. Perlman, seems to only tax one member. It can be Michael or Shannon Falk. But then in 2010, we've got to pile it on to Shannon Falk, right? Oh, my God. And then let's get into the differences between Michael Falk and his brother, shall we? Bruce Falk. Oh, yeah. Mr. Falk was the executive vice president of the New York Institute of Photography. That's where he would be meeting one Donna Lee Flom. Yeah. He's outdoors. In other words, he was a good brother. He attended Syracuse. He graduated from Manlius. It's an upstate, right? He was sort of the normal one. He didn't try and have a freaky father-in-law named Bill Willits, who, when it goes wrong, Bill Willits will, through a local therapist, we're beginning to understand. This was 2020, before the involuntary attempt to conserve me with the complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So Billy cannot figure out what I am in any year. He knew that there's a diagnosis of bipolar from jail. So Billy's going to go around Oregon, I suppose, and get therapists to diagnose his daughter who hasn't seen in years. Your delusions and ideations around people trying to defraud you. See, I think we've proven out that they're not delusions, Dingling. It's called a fact. In your narrative, you're owed millions of dollars by a host of people. Didn't you write me a letter that I was a billionaire? So I didn't say that, but Michael's in the 0.01%. And yes, a host of people owe me money. Okay. Your mom and I have tried so many times to rescue you from yourself. Were you trying to rescue Gabe from himself too? Was his mind his worst enemy? Oh no, your extreme addiction. It left me with brain and abnormalities. I had a brain scan the weeks before I went to see Thomas Kleinberg. Your brain's totally normal. You've got to put sex abuse survivor and take all your mental health and put it in there. Your father's crazy. You have a midline lymphoma. What idiot took your father's brain and took a piece of fat out of it? Where did he dig up a crazy person to do a brain surgery on him? Bill Willis will dig that person up in St. Charles Bend. And then he will call his daughter. My hope is you would consider a long-term dual diagnosis clinic. There's like, how many diagnoses? You got here, diagnoses, creepazoids. What's Michael's excuse? I mean, you've got the good brother, Michael Falk, and we've got Michael's 2000 deposition, where Billy should have let the guy who was already charged, had an EPO, emergency protective order, because the daughter's getting molested by Michael Falk. But really, if that ain't enough, the deposition, that is federally subpoenaed on Michael Falk. Question. It's all about the close of escrow and refusing to hand money over. That's the usual suspect. When was the last time you had anything to do with the Laguna? That's that Hells Angels one. Have you ever had, ask who Raymond Michael Folks was. I was the person that just thought Michael Falk was Michael Folks. I didn't know he was actually a Hells Angels. And didn't they indict them and put them all in jail? Yes. They need to get the people in the suits that are doing this. But wonders Michael, have you ever had anything to do with cultivation or sale of controlled substances? Should we get into Merle's depositions, because I would love to read those, where Michael's going around collecting $50,000 bags of cash. Yeah, that's the thing. See, Merle had the things that nobody would want, so that everybody would do what you did, which is a lot of fraud. But Michael, what he did, oh my God. He refused, you can read it all for yourselves, but it's hysterical. Has he ever been accused with trafficking in cocaine? Oh my God. He refuses to answer on the grounds that it couldn't incriminate himself. You know what? Anyone can run a federal background check. Yeah. You started a foundation after Drug Abuse Alternative Center. The alternative, Michael, is maybe don't traffic cocaine, and then you need someone like Shannon to clean up your image with your mommy so you can get your hands on the money. And we know what happened to Gertie. It didn't work out. I'm sorry, Gertie. He really never mended his ways. But wondrous thing about his little friend, John R. Pullman, oh no, the governing laws in New York. Well, Donna's alive, and it's not illegal to crash a plane, but she was the co-pilot. Yeah, it was a snowstorm, what can I say? It's a fall thing. It's not like the Willits and the Reed, and it's not in the, like the Bend Bulletin. I'm sorry, if a fall crashes a plane, and they're flying it for Garden State Airlines, yeah, we Fox end up in the New York Times. What doesn't end up in the New York Times are emails from Merle Myers making punishments if Bill Willits doesn't do things. Let's see, the day began with receipt of Shannon's email, rejecting a settlement offer. What date is that? December 12th. Because I never signed a settlement offer. I think Mr. Kleinberger has all that too. He quite knows the truth, but he figures if he can pile on with the Willits, he can get away with it, right? I mean, he could just get away with just about anything. It's worked so well for the fraudsters until you actually factually compare things out, because the transfer agreement, when did that happen? Brian apparently writes a letter. I've transferred all of my things to a trust for my children. No way, dude. Sorry. Oh yeah, wow, December 19th. I didn't sign that, Brian. And anyway, that would have been bankruptcy fraud. Like we already established, Merrill's doing a mistrial. There's a global settlement on the 18th. You can't be transferring anything. Only Merrill could do that. And what was he transferring? Well, let me guess. Let's see. Something from the Dobbs-Frank Security Exchange. No wonder Brian's worried about the SEC. Everybody should be worried about the SEC that has anything to do with, say, money? Who could that be? Well, and okay, I'm getting divorced from Chris. I guess then Michael thinks that gives him a right to start using Shannon and Michael as husband and wife in May. I mean, how much fraud do you people need? Well, we got the good old Adams and Company acquisition. Who did that? Oh, it's an acquisition equity. But it's from Georgia. That's kind of funny. Isn't the fraudulent notary of the principal from Georgia? And New York attorneys, if there's a global settlement, don't you actually look at the last name in a federal case? Well, in case you missed it in the federal case, Merle didn't sign it. I guess how was there a global settlement? Neither did the trustee's attorney. I guess he just did that signature by X, but then it's really the filing the exact same fraud, Michael Falk, in a divorce. And like I said, I didn't sell anything of Willits. I'm sorry. But, in case, Billy would ever have to pay a dime, we wouldn't want that because, that would be too upsetting. Billy has his plans with Michael Falk. So Billy, what will he do? He'll say his daughter's disabled in 2017. He'll call her Shannon Garcia. He's not allowed any income from Willits in 2015 or any other year. I'm a member of Willits LLC and Shannon's father. Is this the guy who's delusional and calling around authorities? Oh wait, he left his phone number. And Bill Willits lies on federal documents? To try and get the daughter called crazy and then not pay a singular dime? I mean, that's shameful. Oh, well, speaking of shameful, yeah. Didn't we establish Ashland scene one that Brian did not represent me, but in case we have any problems, if you really need to know who I was the person, let's see, cannot make up a medical record, right? 6/10/2017. Wait a second, that's a hospital record, right? Yeah. It says Ben's Adderall. Yeah, that's for cognitive blunting. Same old thing. It has nothing to do with drugs. In fact, they were issuing it in a hospital. Isn't that interesting? They were giving Adderall to someone who just had a heart attack with hypomagnesemia, edema, acute renal failure, and fluid overload. Yeah, because I arrived with a heart attack and 9 points of magnesium. Yeah, and no doctor. But yeah, home medication instructions. Okay. I guess they send you back for the heart attack with your, so you can concentrate, because you're a writer and you wouldn't want to get it wrong when you're writing this wondrous book about these absolutely creepy characters. And frankly, who lies from Michael Falk in 2011? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. That would be John Perlman. Yeah, I did try and say I was getting rid of Merle, if anybody listened, but nobody did. That's me. Merle cannot get the case right. I completely filed him from every case, but wait a minute. Yeah, for someone that's just so out of their head, seems like I had my shit together to go to the federal court and get rid of Merle C. Myers. But then who would substitute him in? Oh, on the 20th December? That looks like I think, kind of insider trading, right? For like 10 properties. What about everything else? Like, the Falk Association. Yikes. Yeah, but frankly, Michael, when you have a piece of community property and you're going through a divorce, just like on general principles, you see 2570 Laguna Road, Michael Falk. Oh, don't do like SunTrust mortgage frauds where we have the deposition of Michael Zachary, the fraud investigator, saying it's a fraud. You know, this kind of shit could drive anyone crazy, but for me, I ain't no sucker, okay? And like I told you, Mr. Kleinberger, it's about something way bigger than myself. Those are my children, Maxwell and Zoe Falk. When you rip off Gertrude, when you don't give a crap about who dies, my mother-in-law, the whole 9 yards, when I present you with every single piece of evidence, and you should throw Michael Falk under the bus, just simply for using my name, for doing all these awful frauds, why wouldn't you want to help? Well, I guess, like I said on the video, and I think we have that, don't we? You complain to every department you possibly can about it. The truth is, you don't want to deal with the fact that Michael was listing only 3 properties, all with debt. So that Shannon Falk was hungry because Bill Willis wasn't paying any money from Willets. And Michael Falk was trying to foreclose on the house his own wife lived in. And who to help? Jonathan Hammond, of course. So, yeah, that's also a fraud. But the problem that Mr. Kleinberger ran into is when I said I wanted this. I fired Merle from the '08 case, but I never got to look at these. Let's see the objections, the claims. Oh, the 5-page limited liability, Adams and Company. Can I mention the 2007 Markham Clegman from the other attorney? Yeah, Markham Clegman only does holding companies, so we know 110 Lostory got some problems there too, right? But Merle was always on to what he could use against you. Yeah, I'm just very interested in the 5-page 2000 schedule of the 30-word associates. And I really, really want the 48 summary of schedules. That would be in accounting. And then, of course, you would have to have a 22-page general real estate partnership. Yorville Association noticing the adding, of course. Anyone in New York who really wants the case is really going to have a lot of fun because I think isn't there secured deed of, there's the old 83 acres in Hillburg, and there's some creative properties. There's all the kind of Adams fun, but it's not been very fun for my children, and certainly when you get magnesium poisoning, yes, Shannon Garcia and your father tries to throw you onto disability, and then in New York calls you delusional, comes up with 50,000 diagnoses. Dude, maybe you would spell better if you gave yourself some learning disability, medication, I think you should take Ritalin, Bill Willis. Actually, no, don't take anything. You're the vitamin king. You've got all the answers for the entire world, except you do not have the best interests of my children at heart, and apparently neither do Adams. So, if you married a Garcia, and you can do that divorce all by yourself. Who could complicate it so very badly? Well, I'm guessing that you need an inside man. But we shall see, because you dinglings never expected that I would actually be the one in New York. So you've got the jurisdiction here, and like I said, I don't sell nothing. I didn't sell nothing, but just let's remember the governing law. That's the last fraud, and that should be the end of it, and things should be coming out. And we'll get the rest of it all undone. But, yes, so, Native Americans accepted. We're all on their land. We're all looting and squatting anyway. You didn't ask me. I really didn't. It's just the point of it. It's the principle of the thing, you know. I don't like covering up. And I don't like people having their property stolen from them. And they belong here, and it's their land. It's not your land. We're all going somewhere anyway. So, like I said, no matter how complicated, how tough it is, for me, the truth is my shield. And yeah, I'm going to hang on in there because, you know what, too many people have died and too many wrong things have happened, and I'm here to speak the truth because no one else is going to die over this. And I happen to know from my marriage trust there's extra fall money for my kids, and if anything happens to my kids, that'd be bad news. I am not my brother Greg. I don't cover drunk up, and boy, oh boy, I'm already uncovering enough. So, do not mess with my children. They're native to me. They're my children. They're folks. You're messing with folks, and I don't appreciate it. And I don't appreciate that we don't appreciate the natives and their sacrifice because we are on their land. But that's just the truth. And for anyone else going through anything complicated, no matter how damn complicated, speak the truth, say the truth. You may save a life, and it may even be your own. So travel with attitude and have your attitude.